A bit of a wild ride the past 24 hours. Let's dig back in on the Bitcoin price and see what's been going on. Earlier this week, we had poor highs to the upside and to the bottom side, and we see that this wick on Wednesday took out this poor high, but yet we did not take out the market structure high. So let's go ahead and take that poor high off our charts since it's already gotten hit. As well as this one down here, we had poor highs as well as liquidity here and here, and it took all three of those. It took the poor lows as well as these two liquidity lows here. Go ahead and take the poor low off of our charts as well as this liquidity line since it's already been taken. And ever since, we have stayed internal on this market structure leg. This naked point of control has also been hit. We can go ahead and take that off. This daily, while it's been tapped, we have not yet closed a candle across that daily. Same thing here. It has been tapped, but we have not closed below it. So as well as this weekly and this daily here, we have not closed above them. Let's check that weekly. Yeah, so the weekly level here, again, we have not closed above that just yet. So we're going to keep those on our charts. We do have naked point of control here as well as here, residing with a poor high. Let's take a look at that on a 4 hour. So this liquidity high is also a poor high. So this would be a very nice point to come back to in this range here. And we'll pull up our ranges here momentarily. I'm just doing a quick overview of levels that have gotten tapped in the past couple days. We do have a fresh daily, a naked point of control that has inducement on it. And that's pretty much it that we have currently as far as dailies, weeklies, monthly levels, and our naked points of control. Let's go into our order blocks. This was a really nice order block because I believe this was a 15-minute order block. And you can see here that we did not tap it on this wick. We did not tap it here. So this had inducement, meaning that we could sweep this liquidity at the same time as mitigating this order block. So that caused a nice long situation out of this block. But since it's been tapped into now, we are going to take that off, as well as this one here. Go down to the 30-minute. Actually, let's go down a little bit more. 5-minute. Yeah, this block had a nice Model 1. You had tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. And from the leg of the tap 2 into the tap 3, you had this structure coming up. So this was your break here. And really the only way you could have gotten into that is by marketing in as this broke. So to confirm that, you would have had to wait all the way down here to enter in. And of course, I did not do that because I'm not about to have a massive stop loss. Yeah, that's too big of a stop loss for me to cover. I just don't take trades like that. Let's go down to a 2-minute and a 1-minute. Yeah, you just didn't have any structure coming back up to retest this zone. So it would have had to have been just, hey, we broke structure on a lower time frame, maybe a 1 minute. Maybe it broke here and you got in right here, or it broke this low and you got in on this candle covering that high. That would have been the best way to take that trade. Let's get that off of our charts now. Let's go back up to a 30-minute. So this 30-minute order block has been tapped. We put in that Model 1 distribution right there in the 5-minute. Let's take that off of our charts. It has been mitigated. Let's now go bring back all of our ranges, and let's go to the daily time frame. So to review this once more, as we have been for the past couple of weeks, we made a bearish break of structure here, and then we had an SFP here. So we're still working off this SFP being the strong low and this being the weak high. So we have retested this area once, hit that poor high here, and we can go ahead and take that liquidity line off as well. We broke structure here first and then had that retest to that poor high. And now we're just wicking the lows again. So here we have another SFP. And that potentially could give us a retest in this area here. We go down to the 15-minute. Again, we had that SFP. This could be a potential tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 situation to maybe come back and retest this Model 1 that came out of this 30-minute supply. You do have a rounding up here that could be a potential bottom, but with the overall scenario of everything being a bit bearish, I would say we're probably going to just take a range day to day, unless some other news comes out that will, let's pull this over. Unless some other news comes out that would take us even lower. I know Jerome Powell spoke a little bit ago. I'm not even sure what he was speaking about. Obviously, it wasn't that volatile. We're just basically in a range. Hell, I mean, we're in a range inside of a range inside of another range, as we always are. So we have this range here, and if I were to pull more of a local range, we would do it from this low here to this high here. And this is going to be extremely internal. So this range high to this range low, we're right in the middle of this range. It's my least favorite area to take a trade, especially when we're doing nothing but ranging across the equilibrium of this range. So as long as we're in here, I'm really looking for something in here or something in here. If we stay internal in here, I'm not going to take a trade. It's too internal structure as well as internal range. If we could come up here, we'll be in at least the premium section of this range. And if we come down here, we can be in the discount section of this range. So I'm waiting for a move out, one way or the other. Let's take a look at volume. So this is very important to note. This might be a little bit more advanced, but you can see we almost have more of a P-shape profile. So it looks like that. So we have a lack of interest and a lack of volume down here. We don't have much liquidity to sweep below us. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So we're going to put a liquidity line here because this is really the only liquidity left around these lows. So I do like that. And with that said, it could just take one of these lows into this order block, or it could take both of these lows and go into this order block here. But again, there's not a whole lot of volume down here. So I would want to see a buildup of structure. Something like this. That way, we will have a nice liquidity line or liquidity wave to come back up into the premium section. Liquidity has been pretty much swept on the top side. There's really just a void or inefficiency here, which we could definitely come up, take, then go down, or come down, then go up and take this. But any which way you have it, I am pretty much just trading in this range. So I'm looking for trades in this section or in this section, or I'm looking for liquidity to be swept here or to be swept here. There's really no internal liquidity besides this high here. So you could take that, pop into here, and then go down. And same thing to the downside. You take this liquidity here and then come back up. Or you decide to take this low here into this order block, come up. Or we take both of these lows and you come down into this order block, sweeping all of this, and then coming up to this area. So these are all scenarios that we're going to watch out for. And I don't set limit orders on any of these. I wait to see any kind of confirmation once we get down to these levels to take a trade from. Something else I'm watching. Let's see, I might already have it out. Something else I'm watching is this tap 1, tap 2, potentially looking for a tap 3, maybe here. Maybe we get that tap 3 here, and that will complete a Model 2 Wyckoff. And if that's the case, then this would be your target. So that would probably be the best scenario that I'm looking for at the moment. Otherwise, if we come up out of this smaller range and into this larger range, we do have a nice liquidity line here. To watch out for as well. I don't like this one as much as I like this one here. But then if we get up here, you're going to be very close to this area here. So you knock out all this liquidity and mitigating this order block here. That would be my preferred scenario of this range. And again, I've mentioned this several times in the past couple weeks. This could be a larger macro accumulation model, although it won't look quite as good. But if, let's actually zoom out so I can show you. This would be my ultimate level for an accumulation model. So if we come up here, maybe make this smaller accumulation model here, and let's draw it up. So let's say this tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 gets hit here. We come down here to make that tap 3, come up, run all these highs, and then come down here for something like that. And you have a tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 situation down here. That would be my preferred scenario, because if we come down here, we're most likely going to build a range of accumulation, meaning that market makers are going to have to enter in, fake out a lot of people to enter in millions, potentially billions. And again, this is kind of probably talked about everywhere at this point. You have this range, and what you would want to see, you have a range, initiation out of the range, come back to mitigate the range for continuation higher. So that would be the macro market structure move. And that's what we're looking for, ultimately. So I think that gives you a great idea of what I'm looking for macro-wise as well as local. We could come and sweep down here since we do have levels of liquidity left down here as well. You have a massive accumulation model here, which this was a very nice reaccumulation model. And we, of course, we didn't get that here. Every attempt failed. You had an attempt at a 2, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 for model 1. You did go up and hit that target, but then it just turned into another distribution model. So again, to recap, macro levels, this area right here, as most people are already looking for. And for more of local, we're coming up on the weekend. So we do have potential craziness for both sides to get wiped out. If we create some kind of range here over the weekend, Monday, rest assured that we'll probably take out both sides. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take any trades in this area. Well, I say that. However, if we were to come up to this, what was a Wyckoff distribution. Let me change the color on that. What was a Wyckoff distribution, I would love to come back and retest this here. Also, keep your eye on that. This could be an accumulation model in the making. Yeah. So those are a few things to watch out for. Could even be starting over here. However, the distance between tap 1 and tap 2 is much greater from tap 2 to tap 3. That's why I like this one much better. And it makes more sense for it to start here as an accumulation model. All right, so I think that gets it on Bitcoin for today and leading into the weekend. Set an alert here, set an alert here. I'm going to move this one up a bit for that order block. We're going to set an alert at the highs, set an alert at these lows, and then we already have some set for these two blocks and this low down here. So that wraps it up. If anything crazy happens, I'll probably do an update on during the weekend as well. So stay safe, everyone. Today, after the tariff news, it looks like things are cooling off so far. So it might just be an inside day. It might be a little bit boring. We'll see if the suits decide to take massive profits at the end of day today, and maybe do a update later this afternoon. All right, guys, catch y'all later.